Take it out of your mind and onto the other by asking them questions. People love talking about themselves. We do. We love talking about us and telling our stories and feeling like we're being heard. So if you want to assert your authority, a great way is to ask, that's so interesting. Why do you feel that way? Or what do you think shaped your perspective? Or have you always thought this way? Have you ever thought of it this way? Right? Really digging into the heart of your listener, because we all have a heart, even if we don't see it that way. Hello, dynamic speakers and coaches. Welcome to today's training. I'm a little bit late, 5 minutes tardy, because we're just having some technical challenges here in the Hall household. I have recently moved. See, I'm gonna make this. It's gonna bug me. There's a little hole in the wall behind me. I have moved from my upstairs office that I loved, hey Toledo, down to our basement, and the lighting is just, I have 2 lights on me, plus the pot lights, and I'm still like, why is this lighting so difficult? And I was on Zoom and it was fine, but Facebook's different. Anywho, we're here now. That's what matters. Let's jump into this party. Do you feel called to speak about difficult topics, but you often feel scared and so you shy away because you don't want to be rejected? If that's you, drop a 1. All right. Or maybe you find it hard to voice your opinion with clarity because your nerves get the best of you. Or maybe that's a number 2, if that's you. Or maybe you're all of the above. Maybe number 3, you actually get so anxious before you're about to go to a meeting or a talk, or honestly, maybe even just like hanging out with one of your friends because you anticipate it might get a little heated and you're just not one for confrontation. Drop a 3. Hey, Lavon. Oh, good. Okay, you can see me. I know I just look a little like pale. We'll figure this out. So if that is you, you're in the right place, because today we are going to talk about how to navigate through your insecurities and speak truth without fear. And if this could be added to the title, with conviction. Because that is really how we showcase our authority. Becoming convicted speakers. Definitely a combo 3. Yeah, I've experienced all 3 of those myself as a naturally non-confrontational person and recovering people pleaser. I have felt these things and I still wrestle with them. But I've learned some things in the last few years of being more visible online, and really just a deepening of my faith and my values and knowing myself better that have really helped me along the way. So I'm going to share those with you. For those of you who don't know me, maybe you're new to this community, my name's Emanuela Hall. I am a speaking coach and story consultant who teaches mission-driven leaders and entrepreneurs how to tell their story and captivate their audience with their presence, their voice, and their story so that they can move their audience into raving fan clients, make humongous impact, and literally change the world. As a theater artist, actress, and former dancer as well, I am also a playwright. I know the power of stories to help us to heal, to help us to connect with one another, and I truly believe that we have each been given a unique and powerful voice. We just haven't learned how to use it. And I also believe that every single one of us has a story that can change lives. So when I entered the online space back in 2020, I had already written my one-woman play, and I was entering this new space and I saw all of these entrepreneurs. Toledo, I think you were one of the first in my group. And who had never had to be on camera, who had never had to share their voice in this way. And now, they're like, I just want to sell my shampoo, or I just want to sell these beautiful bracelets that I make. And here I am having to suddenly show up online. We were all thrust into this virtual world, and people were coming to me for help. And I realized that that was actually a very unique gift that God had given me. And so I'm very excited and very passionate about helping leaders, mission-driven leaders, especially women, to really raise their voices, because I do believe that the more of us that raise our voices, the more of us that speak, the more we can change the world. All right, so let me just check here. I have had coaching from you, so I don't experience those anymore. Awesome. All right, Toledo and Lavon, thanks for being here. If you are watching the replay, #replay, and let me know at the end of today. I'm going to be sharing, let's see, how many tips did I get here? We got 10. We got 10 things I want to talk about. I would love to know which one of those maybe is one you would like to start implementing if you don't already, or which was the big takeaway, which was the big aha. And I have something available for you today if you want to go deeper in this, so hang out till the end and I'll let you know. Okay, so what has helped me, and now these are going to be a little bit online and a little bit in person. They're obviously going to apply differently depending on the setting. But first and foremost, what I try to do when I know I'm going to be entering one of those situations we talked about is I pray. Pray. Whatever your beliefs are, I know most of you in this space, you believe in some kind of higher power. Center yourself. For me, I pray that the Holy Spirit can infuse my speech. Can be my thoughts, can be my words, can be my actions. And really allow God to speak through me. That has helped so much. And if I say nothing else today and you turn off this video, that's going to help you immensely. Number 2 is, this is a tricky one. I think women maybe particularly struggle with this more, but trying to improve our listening skills. What's that you said? Jordan Peterson says, in every conversation, assume that the person you're speaking to knows something you don't. And I think we're so wrapped up in being right, and being heard, and being seen, that we can create that hostile environment when we're not really listening. So listen. So how do we listen, though? What makes a good listener? Of course, being quiet, making eye contact, smiling can help, and nodding. And also, this is my next one, number 3, is ask questions. When you ask questions, you're trying to get to the heart of why somebody feels the way they do, why they hold a certain opinion or viewpoint. Now, this is really for like a conversation setting. If you're moving into a talk, say you are speaking at a conference, I would invite you to find out as much as you can about the people who might be attending. Usually there's a common theme, common thread, right? So you might not know everybody individually, and they might not all hold the same values, but you might walk in there knowing a little bit about them. Definitely try to get to know your audience before a speaking engagement. That's going to help you a lot to really connect with them, so that even if you say things that they don't 100% agree with, they feel that you've connected with them. So they're going to be a little more open, okay? And in a one-on-one setting, if you're getting in a conversation that feels a little uncomfortable, take it out of your mind and onto the other by asking them questions. People love talking about themselves. We do. We love talking about us and telling our stories and feeling like we're being heard. So if you want to assert your authority, a great way is to ask, like, that's so interesting. Why do you feel that way? Or what do you think shaped your perspective? Or have you always thought this way? Have you ever thought of it this way? Right? Really digging into the heart of your listener, because we all have a heart, even if we don't see it that way. Okay, number 4 is, and this kind of ties in with what I've already said, is create an atmosphere of curiosity and openness. So we have the curiosity by asking questions. Really get curious. Be a detective. Okay, you know yourself, you know what you're thinking, you know what you're feeling. Try to be curious about the other person. And open, like I said, to maybe learning something new. Now we can do this also by our tone and our demeanor. If you walk into a conversation with your arms crossed, what kind of tone or atmosphere are you setting here? Your body language matters. So can you actually be open, have an open chest? Let your hands be open. We're not, closing ourselves off. And get grounded and have a calm, gentle presence. And this can be really hard when we are really passionate about something and it makes us really angry when people don't see it that way. Right? I know, and we can do this with the people we are the closest to. It's like me and my husband, if we're like, no, it's like this, it's like that. It's very hard to maintain this atmosphere of curiosity and openness and gentleness. But I promise you, if you can, find it in you. And again, this is where the praying before will really be helpful, to find that groundedness and openness. And remember that this is one that's coming to me right now. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It's not always about you. Right? It's not about you being right. So be curious, make it about the other. Atmosphere of calm and understanding, right? The more you ask questions, the more you will understand, the more you will get to the heart of the person you're talking to, and you'll really be able to hear them. And that's just going to diffuse the situation too. So that when you do go to speak, they're actually going to listen. And they might walk away with even just a seed of change. You might plant a seed. Okay, number 5. Just basic stuff I tell you all the time. It's a great way if you're feeling nervous before a talk or anything. Know your stuff. So if you are like, I'm going in there, we're going to be talking about this, and I know they're going to think this, have your facts ready. Have your facts ready and make sure they are correct. So do your research, know what you're talking about. You can't be an authority in a certain topic if you actually don't know anything about that topic. There are a lot of topics right now that I'm very interested in, but I don't feel ready enough to actually have a debate with someone or have that kind of a conversation. And then there's other ones that I'm like, oh no, bring it. Bring it. I am ready. I have read the books. I have read the articles. I have watched the videos. I know what I'm talking about. So just know your place, right? If you know that you're going to be talking about something, really be prepared. It's just going to help you to lean on those things. So you're not like coming up with material. Is this making sense? Drop me a yes if you are still here and you're following along. Toledo says you're awesome and helping. Oh, thanks, my dear. And Sheila's here. Hello, Sheila. Sheila is in our story mini mind right now. It's so much fun. Hello. Okay, Lavon's still here. She's still with me. Thank you, honey. Okay. So know your stuff. I will review them all. Don't worry. I know many of you are like writing notes. That's how I am too on every live. So number 6 is, this is really for when you're speaking online or on stages, more so than in a dialogue, because you will definitely know where the other person stands. But assume that everybody watching and everybody listening to you is on your team. It'll just make you feel better. It's not necessarily true. I was having this conversation with my client actually just today, because, of course there's an element of vulnerability when we share our stories. And I said, okay, 50% of the room is with you and thinks you're awesome and is so thankful for your story, and 50% doesn't. Those are pretty good odds, right? Honestly, even if only one person in a room of 100 people, if you can connect with them, then it will have been worth it. If you can help them, it will have been worth it. You know, every time as virtual entrepreneurs, as so many of you are, we come out here, we do these lives, we try to connect with our audience, and like, of course we have big goals and big things we want. We're not doing this just for like our own fun. Of course, I love doing this. I love talking to you guys. But I try to go in thinking, just let whoever is meant to hear this, hear this. So if you start to talk about things that are a little difficult or uncomfortable or controversial, and you know there's people out there that think the total opposite, don't think about those people. Assume that everybody watching you has come because they are on your team. It's not necessarily true. But if you are worried about all those people who aren't, and all those people who are going to write something mean or walk out of your show, then you can't serve the people who are there for you and who want to hear. So just assume that everybody's on your team. Just assume that you're walking into a room of raving fans, that you have only followers in your community that really want to hear from you. Because if they didn't, they would just leave. Next we have, and this goes into, you know me, we're going to talk about technique. Knowing how to master your breath work and your nervous system regulation is paramount. This is why I start with this in my framework. We start with breath and body. Because your voice lives in your body. And it's not just going to give your voice more resonance, more power, but it actually is going to give you that grounded presence. And when people are grounded and have that great posture, they speak with authority. So start with your breath work. Find a good breathing practice. If you don't have one, reach out to me. I have lots of trainings, and definitely drop a Captivate below if you are interested in learning my 4-part framework, because at the end of February, we are jumping into the 8-week program, Captivating Speakers Academy. Okay, so if you want in on that, where you learn the framework, it comes out February 26th. You can get on the wait list now. Drop a Captivate. We start with breath and body. So not only is that great for projection, for your voice, for your presence, but it helps you stay calm. It helps you get out of your head. Yes, Levon is joining us for another round. So excited. Okay, number 8. I fall into this trap, not gonna lie, because I love speaking. Don't over-explain it. You're in a heated situation, just say just enough. I'm gonna call on my boy Jesus right now, but like if you listen to his parables, like he doesn't go on and on and on and explain them. He's just like, I'm gonna drop this right here, and you're gonna go and you're gonna figure out what that means. I'm not saying you should just like leave people hanging, but sometimes we are over articulating our point and we're going around in circles and people are like, I don't even know what this lady is saying. So less is more. I want to just take a moment and say that this is also a great thing to think about on sales calls. If you are someone that does sales calls or discovery calls with people, just tell them the program, tell them the price, and then lean back. We're always like overcompensating, over-talking, over-communicating, and it gets lost in all of that extra stuff. I say this all the time, less is more. Less gestures, less words. Say what needs to be said and just let it land. Okay, this is a phrase, number 9. This is a phrase that you can use when somebody says something that you don't agree with, but you don't want to shut them out and you don't want to shut down the conversation. Instead of saying, well, yes, but, change that to yes, and. Yes. Yes, I see your point, and I'd like to also offer this perspective. This is actually an exercise we do in my improvisation workshops that we have, because you will deal with these people, even in business. Well, yes, but what about this? Well, yes, but what about that? Well, yes, but what about this? And these are just like energy sucking. You know the people I'm talking about. You want to flip the script because you are not just a regular speaker. You are a phenomenal speaker, and you say yes and. Because saying yes and acknowledges that what they have doesn't need, the conversation doesn't need to end. You're not squashing them, right? We call that blocking in improvisation. You're not blocking their voice. You're not blocking their opinion. You're giving it space, and then you're adding your space too. Just gonna let that land while I take a sip of water. Okay, ladies, we are at number 10. Brrr. I feel like you probably know what I'm gonna say. This little hair is really driving me nuts. These are the baby hairs, postpartum baby hairs. The last thing is, I think I said this last week, and I probably said it the week before, and I'll probably say it until I die. Competence equals confidence. So yes, a lot of this, 90% of it, maybe not that much. But 70% is in between our ears. It's in our mind. It's changing our mindset. It's listening. It's thinking. But when we develop our skill set, just like the breath work, we develop competence. And when we feel competent in something, we gain confidence. So even if the what doesn't land with your audience because they're like, oh, heck no, this is not for me. I do not like what this woman is saying. If you deliver it in a way that captivates them, they might take something more. They might give you a second because you know how to grab their attention. So it's not just about what you say or don't say, but it's also about how you say it. Actually, I argue that it's mostly about how you say things, because I'm in the business of helping people say things better. We're losing battery here. Lavon, I love that. Yes, garlic for the energy vampires. Totally. Okay, I'm gonna review them real quick, and then drop me below which one you would like to implement today, or which one was your biggest takeaway. So we've got pray. So ask for help. You don't have to do it alone. That's what praying is. Listen, right? Ask questions. Create an atmosphere of curiosity and openness. Know your stuff. Imagine everyone is on your team. Breathe, right? Learn how to use your breath to regulate your nervous system so that you keep your cool. Because the second you lose your cool, my friend, you've lost your authority. Don't over-explain it. Just lay it on the table. Yes, and, not yes, but. And hone in on those skills. Level up your speaking. Which again, if you want to go deeper with that, drop a Captivate, because the doors open in a month from today and you're going to want to get in there. Now, if you don't want to wait till the end of February to jump into the Captivating Speakers Academy, which is my signature group program where you learn my 4-part framework: presence, voice, delivery, and mindset. If you want to start today, and you also want to work on your story, and you also want to work on your visibility, this is the entire kit and caboodle. I have a spot open for one-on-one coaching. It's a 3-month coaching experience with me for the woman entrepreneur who is ready to say yes to the Holy Spirit and speak truth with authority and conviction. But you just don't know how to start. You have too many ideas. You don't know how to organize it. You want to up-level your speaking, and you want to get seen. If you're ready to deep dive into your story and really stand out this year, then I have this one-on-one spot left for this month. I invite you to drop a call below. You're going to want to get in on it. If you just want to have a talk and see if it's for you, and we can book something later in the year, that is totally open. I have availability after this Captivating Speakers Academy again, so we can do it later, but I want to let you know about it because it is covering everything from story finding, story writing, storytelling, presence, voice, mindset, delivery, connection with your audience, and then the visibility piece to actually get you out there, find out where your stages are, where your speaking opportunities are online, in life, and get out there and share that impactful story, because it just might change the world. All right, friends, let me see check in on you. Okay, Toledo is saying, strategies, pray. Yeah, oh, girl, you wrote them all down for me. Okay, somebody just go and copy and paste that. Do you want to be my little assistant? Can help each other out. And Lavon is saying number 6, imagine everyone's on your team. Got a situation coming up, and this may be the ticket. Yeah, I know we are dealing with opposition in a macro level, and then I know each of us are dealing with these oppositions in a micro level, like every day, all the time. So, and I honestly think those ones are harder battles. For me, it's a lot easier to come online and be like, I think this, and be very proud and very convicted. But then you get in a room with someone who you really love and cherish, or someone who you really respect, and you're like, you want them to like you, so you have more challenges there. But I truly believe that prayer can really help with that, and the breath work can really help with that, and listening, ask questions. Because I have had situations where I thought, oh my goodness, that did not go well. And then I will get a message from them and they'll say, thank you. I really appreciated your perspective. So please let me know if you try these things out, if you try these tips in real life situations and they work. Please let me know. I love hearing our wins because we are all growing. Our voices are growing. We are going to make a big impact this year. I can feel it. You are coming along with me for the ride. Whether you join me in one of my programs or you just stay in this community, there is a lot of value. I want you to shine this year. I want to hear your voice make impact. Toledo says microwaves is very challenging, like people stealing ideas, but what is for you is for you. Yes. That's a big one. Yeah. So what is for you will not miss you, right? Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, listening, sharing your voice, and let me know if you need any help. Okay, drop a call below or DM me called if you want to know more about that. We can get on a call. We can get on a call for called, or I'll see you next week. Okay, bye friends.